Meditation is a very good tool for stopping the rampage of negative thought, because when you meditate, you quiet your mind, and when you quiet your mind, your vibration raises, and when your vibration raises, there's no resistance, and you're in alignment with source energy. But changing the subject, you know how if a baby is unhappy about something, and you distract the baby to something that is more pleasing, it is not so different from that. You're just wanting to distract yourself from uncomfortable, unpleasant, not good feeling thoughts and reach for thoughts that feel better. We think that many of you do not realize the magnitude of the importance of this. But we say to you, if you harbor negative thoughts because they feel normal to you, in time, the representation of those negative thoughts will become greater than the initial negative emotion. In other words, if you've got some negative thoughts going on and you're not really aware of, or you're willing to endure them or tolerate them, don't worry, they'll get bigger. Law of attraction says that they must. And then the resistance gets bigger too. And when there is more resistance within you, then there is a greater toll on your physical body until greater manifestations that are not pleasing to you begin to occur. We think it is a wonderful thing when you are aware of how you feel and able to shift your thought to something that feels better, because in the early subtle stages, it's much easier to change vibration. It's just that most physical humans are more interested in action than you are interested in vibration. And it's a sort of screwy way of looking about it, because vibration is everything to you. The way you are vibrating equals your point of attraction. Everything comes to you. You are a veritable magnet calling to you everything that you are feeling. So if you are feeling mistreated, people mistreat you everywhere. If you are feeling uncared for, nobody cares for you. Jerry and Esther saw a little piece of a television special a day or two ago, and it was people who had been very famous for a short period of time and now were not in the limelight anymore. And this man is saying, when you have everything, people want to give you everything. And when you have nothing, people don't want to give you anything. And he was speaking it as if he thought that was backwards and unfair, that it's when you have nothing that people should want to give you something, and when you have everything, then they should not need to. When you feel good, more good comes. When you feel bad, more bad comes. It is law, you see. And so, as we're moving forward together today, it is our desire, if it is yours, to assist you in creating some virtual realities that cause you to vibrate in a way that lets in what you want. Facing reality only brings you more reality. And do not misunderstand, we know that there is much about your reality that is wonderful. And we want you to selectively sift through and focus upon the wonderful parts of your reality. But if there is something about your reality, or someone close to you reality, or somebody who it's not even any of your business reality, and it's bothering you as you give your attention to it, then that bothering feeling is an indication to you that you are giving your attention to something that is causing you to offer a vibration, that is setting up resistance within you, that is disallowing the well-being that you have already told the universe that you want. You do not need one more day on this planet in order for the universe to know what you want. You have been launching rockets of desires, huge rockets of desires, little rockets of desires. You've been amending your desires constantly, because you can't stand in this time-space reality with all of your ability to perceive without offering constant perception of preference. In other words, it just happens. If you're too warm, you want to be a little colder. If you're hungry, you want to have a little food. If someone isn't nice to you, you want them to be nicer. If you don't have enough money, you want more money. If your body is stiff, you want more flexibility. If you are confused, you want more clarity. In other words, you are constantly in this place where preferences are being born within you, and every single one of them is heard by all that is and answered instantly every single time. So you each have this huge avalanche of non-physical energy, fairies of the universe, a huge team of support who knows everything that you want, working to lining things up all over the place. The work is all done. You've asked and the universe has given. All you've got to do now, the last little piece that needs to fall into place, is you've just got to chill out. You've just got to get happy. You've just got to feel better. You've just got to laugh more. You've just got to be easier about things. You've got to love rather than hate. You've got to laugh rather than cry. You've got to anticipate rather than be pessimistic. In other words, you've got to be optimistic in your vibration, and in that optimism, oh, the good that will come to you. But we can't just zap you with that. You've got to practice your way into it because you've practiced your way out of it. In other words, you've trained yourself into worrisome thoughts. And it is our expectation that you will virtual reality yourself out of those worrisome thoughts and back in to the alignment of well-being that is so natural to you. Somehow, not just you, but a lot of your human population has gotten crossways of what we see as the significant, always, balance of the universe. And it goes like this. There is only a stream of well-being, and it is flowing to you always. And to the degree that you let it in, you thrive. But you have to understand law of attraction in order to get that. In other words, if you don't understand law of attraction, which says that which I give my attention to becomes a part of my vibration and therefore a part of my attraction. So we understand how you get there. You look out into the world and you see things wanted and you say, yes, yes, more of those. I would vote for that. And then you look out into the world and you see things not wanted and you say, no, no, I do not want that. What you don't realize is in your yesing, you're including it in your vibration. But in your no, 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 knowing, you're including it in your vibration too. So without even meaning to, you're creating a sort of scramble as you say, watch out for that, be wary of that. There's a war against drugs, there's a war against AIDS, there's a war against cancer, there's a war against teenage pregnancy, there's a war against poverty, there's a war against all kinds of things. And most people are not understanding that in their attention to and pushing against those unwanted things, they are including them in their vibration and they are holding them unto them. So, when you begin to understand that creation is about achieving a vibration and that law of attraction takes care of the rest, then you realize that if you look out into the world and you see something unwanted, that in the midst of that unwanted thing is born a rocket of desire within you. Now, this is the thing we really, really, really want you to hear. We'll be brief about it because many of you have heard it many times, but we so much want you to understand this. There are 3 parts to the process. The first is ask. The second is universe answers. The third is you have to let it in. The asking part comes easily for you because contrast helps you to ask. You're banging around in the middle of unwanted things, unwanted awarenesses. In the middle of that awareness of things you do not want are born rockets of desire. Now your work is, once the desire has been launched, to become a vibrational match to it as quickly as you can. And that's why you can't stand in your place of justifying why you want the rocket and be a match to the rocket at the same time. As you complain about where you are, you're not a match. As you lament how long you've been there, you're not a match. As you talk about how hopeless it feels to ever get there, you're not a match. As you talk about those people that are there that you despise for being there, you're not a match. But as you get into your virtual reality for 15 seconds and you just pretend that just for a moment you're already there, and you feel just a lift within you, just a brief lift, just for a moment, for 15 or 20 seconds, you found yourself a vibrational match to your own desire. And as you practice that, and practice that, and practice that, before you know it, you won't be fantasizing it, you'll be living it. But you got a virtual reality at first in order to live it. Now, what do you think that cancer commercial is doing in helping you to virtual reality cancer? What do you think all of those warnings that are offered? The other day, Tracy, Jerry and Esther's daughter, who has a new daughter, Kate, 2 months old now, or nearly. So Tracy puts Kate in the little car seat and puts her in the car and gets distracted and drives her home without buckling it in. Tracy is a very safe driver. She's never even had a fender bender. She's been driving for many years now. And when she realized that her precious bundle had not been buckled in, Tracy cried, feeling so guilty about what could have happened. And Esther said, boy, they've really done a number on you, haven't they? In other words, Jerry and Esther drive the highways of the nation 2 or 3 times a year Around and around and around they go. Esther is baking in the kitchen while Jerry is driving. Jerry is working on his notes. He has never buckled in. They're walking around, moving all over the place. Don't tell anyone who has authority. And never does it occur to them that they are unsafe. Because well-being is the order of this universe. And they are in vibrational alignment with it, you see. So we understand how you've been convinced, as others who have not been in alignment with well-being have experienced the effect of not being in alignment with well-being. And then those who don't understand vibration say, oh, look at this bad thing that happened to this person. They leave out the part that they're not in a vibrational harmony with well-being. And then they say to all of you, that could happen to you. It happened to them for no good reason. It could happen to you. So let's pass a law to prevent that bad thing that would never happen to you because you're not a vibrational match to it anyway, from happening to you because it happened to somebody who wasn't a vibrational match to well-being. And we say, your lives become very complicated, don't they? As every bad thing that happens to every person everywhere on the planet becomes your problem. Because now somebody wants to make a law to protect you from something that had nothing to do with you in the first place, you see. Law of attraction is the order of all things. All you've got to do is be a vibrational match to well-being, and you can tell that you are by the way you feel, and well-being must be your experience. It is law. So buckle up if you want to humor them, but don't buckle up from a sense of vulnerability. If every time you buckle your seatbelt, you do so to protect yourself from not well-being, then every time you buckle your seatbelt, you go to a virtual reality that causes you to align with something less than what you are really wanting. Well-being is the nature of this universe, and it is certainly the legacy that has been intended to be passed on to you. And there is not a reason in the world that any of you are living anything other than utter, fabulous well-being, other than you've got crossways of the vibration of well-being because somewhere along your path, somebody has convinced you that you needed to push against something in order to be in a better feeling place. And we're here to tell you, it defies all of the laws of the universe. You cannot push against something because the more you push against it, the more in vibrational harmony with it you are. It's like the tar baby. The more you poke at it, the more it sticks all over you. Good. Well, you heard that clearly. We've never said it clearer. We are eager to visit with you about anything that is important to you. We see our value to you in assisting you through a series of processes, and every process that we have ever offered, and we may offer every one of them here today, every process that we've ever offered has been for one intention only, to help you to become a vibrational match to your desire. It's very rewarding work. Because when you are a vibrational match to your desire, then you live the fulfillment of your desire. You said, I will go forth into this time-space reality in this universe that is based upon the triad of intentions of freedom and growth and joy. You said, I know that I can freely choose any thought to focus upon, and in doing so, I will offer a vibration. And you said, we remember, we promised we would remind you, my goal, my eternal goal, will be that of joy. For as I am reaching for joy, I will always be aligning to the energy of well-being. And as I align to the energy of well-being, then growth will be my experience. Can't help but be. Expansion is inevitable. We can't avoid that. Don't make it your goal. One last thing we'd like to say to you. You can't get it wrong, and you never get it done. And the reason you cannot get it wrong is because you never get it done. In other words, suppose you're standing in a place that's less than what you want. No problem, it's not done. And, better still, as you're standing in this place that you do not want to be, rockets of desire are being born, which is the promise of the universe. And now that desire has been offered by you, and source energy is answering it, and the fairies of the universe, all of the inner beings, your family of consciousness, all that is non-physical and aware of you, goes to work on visualizing your happy outcome.